Hello again, it's Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell coming to you with a look at Oklahoma CareerTech. This is a series that my office is starting to again tell the wonderful stories, real life stories of great Oklahomans that have gone through our top 10 CareerTech system. Because I know we want to be top 10 on all the good lists. Well, I can tell you we already are top 10 when it comes to our Oklahoma CareerTech system. And with us today is Liam Bryan. He is a graduate of our Aviation Maintenance Technology program at Tulsa Tech Center there in Tulsa, America. Liam, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Good. Well, so just let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where are you from?
So my interest in aviation got started pretty young. My dad was a mechanical engineer, worked in aerospace, and he took us to air shows all the time. You know, I loved airplanes as a kid because my dad worked on them, right? And as we went to air shows and fly-ins, I just got to love aircraft more. And I've always loved making things. And I never really wanted to sit behind a desk. And I thought that being a mechanic, an aircraft mechanic, would combine all the things I enjoyed. I get to work with my hands. It's still a mental, challenging, respected profession. And I get to be around airplanes.
When you were in high school, did you learn about our CareerTech system when you were in high school, or was that kind of post-high school that you were learning more about Tulsa Tech and the rest of our CareerTech system?
It was post-high school. So I was homeschooled all the way through high school, and I was working after school doing lawn care, of all things, that and construction. And I've been trying to decide what I wanted to do with myself. And my parents suggested this would be a great career field to look into. At first, I was quite resistant. I didn't really want to do it. But I gave it some thought. We checked out a few different programs. And then one day, I realized there was an open house at Tulsa Technology Center down in Riverside. And I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. So I just drove down to Riverside campus, walked in the door and said, hey, Liam, look, you're looking for a tour of your aviation program. And they met Brian Abbott, actually the Generals 1 instructor. And he gave me a fantastic tour, several hours. I got to see a lot of the program, really connected with Brian. He's a great guy. And after that experience, I was like, wow, this is a neat program. I kind of want to look into this more. And that's what got the ball rolling to get me to tech.
That's great.
So, yeah.
That's great. And we're hearing a lot of those stories too. Again, the teachers that really invest in students and have those skills, are able to connect students to the industries as well. It's a big game changer when it comes to our CareerTech teachers inside the state of Oklahoma. So you talked about, why did you decide to enroll in the Aviation Maintenance Tech program? I know you had an interest in aviation, but why specifically that program?
Well, I thought it was a great balance of both a mental career and a hands-on career. I didn't want to go into engineering, although I still have an interest in that direction, because I didn't want to be tied to a desk. I wanted to be hands-on physically with the machines. I wanted to be out there working on the flat line. And so that was what drove me in that direction. As far as aircraft go, I've always loved them. I love watching an aircraft taxiing around and it takes off, and you watch the gear suck up into the body and then it cleans up and goes. It's just nothing better in my opinion. Airplanes are amazing. And so I've always been an aviation fan. So that's kind of what pointed me there.
Yeah. So how long did the program take you to complete?
It's about an 18-month program.
So where do you work now? And what do you do in your position? How did that job come about? Were you courted, when you were in this program? How easy was it to get a job? A lot of the folks that we're talking to are talking about it's never easy finding a job, but the reality is you have skills that a lot of employers are looking for. So where do you work? And tell me about that process of how you went about getting that job.
Yeah, I work for Omni Air International, an airline based in Tulsa, actually. And I got kind of familiar with them through the job fair, the career fairs that Tulsa Tech actually hosts. And as an aside, that's one of the big benefits to Tulsa Tech. As long as you're willing to try, they have a department there that will help the students build a resume, I'll help them print business cards for free for the students.
Well, that's great.
And then they provide career tech or a career fair with a lot of local aviation companies attend. You have BizJet shows up, Omni shows up, American is often there. You get Textron. So a lot of people actually come to Tech for the students. So yeah, that was kind of how I got exposed to Omni. One of the other big things that led to my employment with Omni Air was the maintenance competitions. Every year there's MRO America's conference, but there's a maintenance competition for mechanics, and they have two classes, a professional and student. And I was fortunate enough to be asked to be part of the Tulsa Tech team. And so we got to go down to Orlando and compete. And while I was there, I ended up meeting the director of maintenance for Omni. And later at the career fair, I met the director of line maintenance. And I had my airframe license at that point. I was just working on my power plant. I gave him a resume and a card. And I said, hey, my name's Liam. I'm not really looking for a major airline job, but you guys let us work on the whole aircraft and you travel. So you're one of the few I'm considering. And he said, thanks. Yeah, he took it. And the next day I got a phone call from him. He said, hey, you still interested in a job? I said, yeah. He said, cool. Well, yeah, just talk to us. I said, it's a little early for me to be saying that. I got to finish school first. He said, I don't know, just tell you what, we'll talk to you in a few months. I said, great. And a few months later, he called me back and said, hey, you still want a job? And I said, yeah, I do. And so that's kind of how I started the dialogue off with Omni. And by the time I graduated, I had an interview, and I had a spot waiting for me when I left Tech.
That is a great story. And again, specifically the kind of stories and connecting of the dots that we're trying to make for Oklahomans across the state. That listen, we need people going to college, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of jobs out there. By going and getting a certificate like you did in 18 months, you had a passion for the industry, finished your training, and you were already getting courted when you were going through that program. I also think it's a really key point that you made about the other services that our CareerTech system provides. Again, helping you put a resume together, business cards, the networking. That your teachers are already working in the airline industry, so you're actually getting training from people that are already in the industry, and then they know which companies to connect you with. I mean, that's a game changer.
Well, I think so. I think it's an amazing resource that I think more people should take advantage of. Often I would go over there and there was nobody in the room the whole day. So these folks would just be sitting there, and they'd help you with the resume, they'd help you with the wording. Business cards, again, free. I mean, that's really makes a job of somebody who's hiring a student. I think impresses them.
Absolutely agree. So, what did you enjoy most about your time at Tulsa Tech?
I gotta say it was Power Plant 1. That was probably my favorite class. I loved overhauling those piston engines. And then taking them all the way down, tearing them completely apart, splitting the case, taking out the crankshaft and NDTing all of that, putting it back together, and then putting it back in the test cell and running it. Yeah, really cool after 4 weeks to see an engine that you just had in pieces, putting out 400 horsepower. It's an amazing feeling when you can open the door of that cell and just feel the engine punch you in the gut. It's a great feeling. And that you built it and it's running smooth. Yeah, I'd fly behind that. Yeah, that's probably the coolest thing.
That's pretty cool. So what would you say to someone that is considering enrolling in a CareerTech program in Oklahoma?
I would tell them to go for it. I think there's a lot of opportunity there that people haven't looked into. I think there's lots of jobs that are not being filled, and for somebody who's willing to work and put in the time, I think there's great living to be made in the technical careers.
Yeah, because I bet you got a lot of friends that are looking for jobs right now, thinking, looking at you with the kind of job that you have, impressive company, great job. You are well on your way to, again, making a great living. It's going through a 18-month program in a world-class CareerTech facility. Yes, but you got it done a whole lot quicker. There's a lot of people out there in their 30s and early 40s that are trying to do career changes. You're 25 building a career. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, In fact, I went to school with several guys who were on their second or even third career change, going through tech, trying to get that get a stable career that would provide for them.
Yeah.
Which has actually another major benefit to the career tech system, I think, because you're not just going to school with people your same age. I was in school with guys who were 30 or 40 years old. They had a lot of maintenance experience in other areas, and they were just working to get the certificate to work on aircraft. Yeah. And having that breadth of life experience in the classroom is really a game changer.
Yeah, I'm glad you made that point. Liam, thank you for being with us today and sharing your story about why more Oklahomans should be taking a look at our Oklahoma CareerTech system. I'm glad it worked out for you, and I'm glad it's working out for a lot of kids. Again, doesn't matter what age you are going through a CareerTech. I'm glad it's working for so many Oklahomans, and I hope that, again, you telling your story about the aviation maintenance program there in Tulsa will get more kids interested when they're looking at career paths, more Oklahomans interested in our Oklahoma CareerTech system.